this is the year of new series. I'm starting a new series. Oh, that's a surprise, Denise. I feel, as you know, I don't really bake that much, and I think the main reason is because, as you know, when I started this channel, I had a little side cake business, and this channel was mainly about sort of cake decorating tips and stuff like that. And then, as you know, COVID happened, and then I stopped baking over COVID, mainly because the cost of ingredients was ridiculous during COVID, and I thought I'm not going to compete with that. COVID finished eventually, and then I kind of decided didn't want to bake anymore. But what kind of led up to that before COVID was that I had a couple of orders, and I have a full-time job. A lot of the time, I would bake my orders after my full-time job. So I'd come home from work and then start baking. And the last order that I had, I remember coming home from work, I started baking at 5 and I didn't finish until 10 o'clock the next morning with no sleep. And I was deliriously tired, and this wasn't the first kind of order that I'd had like that. And I kind of thought, I can't keep doing this. And even before COVID happened, I was already thinking about maybe I don't really want to do this anymore. I want to go back to, how it was before when I was just like a hobby baker. So yeah, COVID happened, closed the business. And since then, it's not to say I haven't baked, like, for myself or family. But I don't feel as I baked as much as I used to bake. And I kind of want to fall back in love with baking. So this series is going to be making my favorite bakes. So recipes that I've found that I've baked in the past that I really like, I'm going to share with you. The first recipe is a cookie recipe, is a peanut butter cookie recipe, which I've got. This is the print. I printed this years ago, probably about 10 years ago. I printed the recipe off. It's from BBC Good Food. I'm going to put the link. I'll put the link in the description of the video, because you can still find this recipe online, and it's so simple. And the good thing about it is that it's suitable for gluten-free, because there's no gluten-free diets, because there's no flour in it. And it's a good recipe also for baking with children, because there's not a lot of ingredients, and it's a case of getting them involved and sort of shaping the cookies. So we're going to bake some, and I haven't baked this for a while, so I'm hoping they taste as good as I remember. First up, we're going to combine the peanut butter and the sugar together. So we mix this until they're well mixed. And then we put a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in there, and we carry on mixing until everything is all mixed in. And it should look like this, all well mixed. Now the next thing we're going to add is the egg. Whenever I put egg in a recipe, I always put a little bit of vanilla extract. So that's the egg, whisked it up with the vanilla extract. And we're going to mix it all together till it's well combined. And it should look like this. Now what you're going to do is roll these into balls and place on the baking tray and press them with the back of a fork like this. Put in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Take them out and they look like this, and then you leave them to cool for 10 minutes, and then you transfer them onto a wire rack for another 10 minutes. So what do they taste like? Cookies are done. They're smaller than I remember. I mean, the recipe said to make them cherry tomato size, because they'll spread a lot on the thing, but I probably could have made them a bit bigger. But we are in the era of big cookies, but sometimes you just want a little sort of snack size. So I have no problem with them being this size. Then let's see if they taste as good as I remember. They're good, chewy. Some of the reviews for this recipe, because on the BBC Good Food website, people put reviews of the recipes. Some people said that they've reduced the amount of sugar because they found them too sweet. Now I don't find them too sweet. I don't know what that says. But if you're worried about the amount of sugar in them, you can reduce them. I think some people put, instead of 175, they put 125, and they've said that it hadn't really affected the recipe. Also, you can use smooth peanut butter as well, but whenever I buy peanut butter, I always buy crunchy. So yes, these are really good. Let me know if you try this recipe. This is perfect for people who are like, I can't bake. It's like I said, 3 ingredients. Very easy, very quick. Almost, I would say, fail-proof recipe. Let me know if you try, if you do the recipe, and what you think of them. And also, are you a crunchy peanut butter fan or a smooth? Because I know there's like 2 distinct camps. And I like both, but I will always go for a crunchy version of peanut butter. Until next time, cake lovers.